Hola, estoy de vuelta. Soy Amani y hoy voy a hablar sobre mi experiencia en Nicaragua, pero en realidad voy a hablar sobre tres cosas that I have learned, um, that I have been reflecting on since coming back from my trip. And this isn't just something I guess I've noticed with this trip in Nicaragua, but I did get the um, opportunity to travel to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico earlier this summer. And earlier this year in March during spring break, me and my friend M went to um, Mexico City, La Ciudad de Mexico. So I got the opportunity to travel to three different Spanish speaking cities this year. And after these travels, I am starting to change my approach to the way that I'm going to learn Spanish. And this is also based in a little bit of the learning theories that I've been geeking over lately. So we're just going to jump right in and just start with the first. And I literally have like a little note sheet here because otherwise my brain like will have like six trains leave the station and then I won't know like what I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, so the first thing is that comprehensible input is so important, right? But comprehensible input is not just sitting down watching videos. And comprehensible input can be and is so much more than sitting down and watching videos. No shade to all of us who were and are sitting down watching videos, right? But honestly, before going on these travels, I had been following certain groups where watching videos was like the primary source of their language learning, which I believe if you either don't have the opportunity to travel or to get out and talk to people who speak Spanish or other native speakers, or, you know, maybe you have different, just different things in life, okay? Even if you aren't able to go out and necessarily speak with people, maybe you have certain learning disabilities. Like, I'm trying to think of all the reasons why you couldn't, but I'm just saying this is for me, someone who's able to, and for anyone else who has the ability to. Like, comprehensible input is much more than just watching the videos. Comprehensible input, like I've mentioned in a different video, is realia too, which means like things, you know, things you see in real life. It is real life. And I think that after traveling, I'm realizing like that is the best comprehensible input. It's to actually go out, like you're getting everything you need in one. You're getting the visuals, like when you're going out. You're getting the words, you're getting the listening, and then you're getting the meaningful context all in one. And so I'm like I don't know, it was just like a light bulb moment for me because I had known this and I'd watched videos of people who have gringas and gringos who have learned Spanish fluently. And they all say this, but I swear it's like I didn't want to listen to it. Like I'm like, no, let's see if I can just stay home and continue to be my introverted self. And the answer is no. Like I have to make somewhat of an effort if I want to reach my personal learning goals. Which goes on to number two. My number two thing that I've learned is like just as comprehensible input is super important. Just as important is this theory of comprehensible output. So, comprehensible output is basically saying after you're given input, it's just as important to acquire language to produce output that is understandable to you. And what the theorist Miller mentions is that like when you are engaging in output, when you actually speak with what you've received, speak about. Oh gosh, look at me like, oh. When you are able to, when you're able to like speak about something after that information has been given to you, it strengthens that interlanguage like machine that's inside of our brains. So basically, we're strengthening those neural connections, and then it enables us to like learn. Well, it just enables us to learn quicker, guys, quicker and more efficiently. So, yeah. And so that means instead of just thinking that I'm going to be like listening to the people speaking around me, and I tried to do that. Like, but the thing about engaging with people is that like I can't just sit there and listen. I think it'd be different if I had, I was mute or certain things that would contribute to me not speaking, and then I could like let people know with like a sign, hey, I'm not able to speak or I don't speak or whatever the case is. It's like I don't have an excuse. Like I can't just sit there and when people are speaking directly to me in Spanish, like I can't not speak. And so although it was very challenging, I did find that the times where I was speaking and interacting with the people around me, whether it was um, the mesero who was helping serve the food, or whether it was the barista, or just the friendly people out in the street, or the hotel receptionist, or whatever it was, it strengthened um, those connections, and I was able to remember the interaction a lot more. Before I get on to my third step, I'm just going to give you like a quick example of what I mean. So I went out to eat and I remember just not knowing the word for a straw. Like, what is a straw in Spanish? And I remember asking my waiter, like, ¿Cómo se dice? Like, and I pointed to the straw, en español. And then I was like, ¿Es papote? He's like, well, sí, pero, and he kept saying it and it wasn't sticking, but it was like, removador, removador, removador. I guess that's another word for those small skinny straws. And in that interaction, because I saw the straw, it was in a real context where I was eating, and it was an interaction with me and the waiter. I can't forget that word now, removador. Like I just can't. All right, third point, número tres, is more just about how important environment is sometimes in learning. And I also found that when I was traveling, there were certain times I wasn't comfortable in the environment, and so it affected the way that I produced the language. It affected the way that I was receiving the language. When I wasn't in a comfortable environment, comfortable space, I just was letting my nerves like get to the best of me, and I wasn't able to learn the best way and the most efficiently. So it just makes me think, and coming back and being back home, of just outside of me being in my comfort zone at my house, like what other environments can I cultivate for myself that are comfortable and friendly and accept, aren't super critical of people who are like trying to learn. Um, But I'm not gonna let that last thing I mentioned stop me about like let the people around me not being open to someone learning a new language, which might just be in my head. That's a whole nother thing. But last point, and I said there's only 3 points, and I'm terrible because I'm adding another one, is the fear of failure. Going on these trips and seeing the difference in my progress, and also seeing the difference from those times that I did try to speak and did try to interact versus those times that I didn't, is like, y'all, the fear of failure will lead me to failure. Like, I can't continue being afraid and then blaming that fear of failure like on the reason why I'm not learning. Like, that is literally how I'm going to fail. So, with that in mind, I'm hoping to take these things that I've learned and slowly integrate them into like a new system for me that will help me grow more confident and comfortable with the language. So yeah, I'm done blabbing, but I'm excited to see what's next in the journey. So yeah, Adiós por ahora and hasta próximo.